What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another team preview, and it's all about the Dallas Mavericks, the 2011 NBA championship team that finished last season 50-32. They made it back to the playoffs after falling short the year before. They took out the Clippers. They sent home a young and electric OKC Thunder team in the second round and had almost no issues with the Timberwolves. They took them out in 4-1 and became Western Conference champs. Made it all the way back to the finals, but unfortunately fell short there to Boston. But the question is, can they get back there this year and actually win it this time? And despite making it to the finals last year, you look at the majority of the regular season, the team was somewhat unstable, and they had a lot of issues, a lot of injury problems, a lot of roster moves. But by the last few weeks of the season, the team was running on all cylinders. Obviously, they had two amazing superstars, LUKA Doncic and Kyrie Irving, but they also had some key pickups that will be back. Daniel Gafford, who is an excellent center. He always hustles. He gives it 100% on both ends of the court. And then you have premier defender PJ Washington as well. All four of them will be back, along with some new players that I'll talk about. But let's just get Luka out the way. Simply one of the best, a top 5 player in the NBA, high basketball IQ, elite court vision, top game awareness, superior ball handling, great passing ability, and of course, the man can score. And last season, he had the best three-point percentage of his entire career, despite taking more three-point shots than he ever has his entire career. He finished 3rd for the MVP, has a chance to win it this season, and he is going to be huge for this team. But of course, the other threat, one of the better ball handlers in the game, one of the better shot creators in the game, Kyrie Irving, will be back as well. But this amazing duo, despite that strong supporting cast, fell short in the finals. Like I said, Boston's defense was just amazing. It left the Mavs flustered. They missed shots. The shooting numbers just plummeted, especially from 3. So what to do? How about adding one of the better three-point shooters in the game? Welcome to the Mavericks. It is Klay Thompson. He has the 6th most three-pointers in NBA history, and he is constantly at the top of the league, either 1st, sometimes 2nd, sometimes maybe 3rd, but he's always at the top in catch and shoot three-pointers. His presence will immediately make Luka and Kyrie even better. It'll give them more space with his three-point ability. And yes, the Mavs lost some guys. They lost Josh Green. They lost some draft picks to get Thompson, but Green he's been a little bit injury prone, not always the most reliable. And they made some other moves as well just to add more stability and consistency. Thompson is the better player compared to Green, and he's going to be the better option to get the Mavs over the hump this year. And they made more moves to try to elevate this offense as they go for this NBA title, and traded away Tim Hardaway Jr., sent him to the Pistons for Quentin Grimes. Now, Hardaway had some amazing moments, but he was a streaky player. Grimes is going to add a little more stability. He's a solid defender. He's someone who can drain the 3. He can make good reads. He can give the Mavs some really solid minutes off the bench. And they also lost a very versatile player, an athletic player, Derrick Jones Jr. But brought back to Dallas, Spencer Dinwiddie, who has a lot of similar skills as Luka, obviously not to the same elite level, but he's going to be a great option off the bench to give the Mavs plenty of minutes, especially early in the year, keeping Luka fresh. You know, some of these guys have had recent injuries, including Luka, so keep them fresh, keep them on the court. When things get really important later in the season, just like last year, it could go on a big streak, make sure they get in the playoffs with room to spare, and they'll hope to have enough gas in the tank at that time with all these players, with all this talent, to make it back to the finals and win it this year. Well, I guess it would be next year, but the Mavs offense looks better to me. It's been upgraded. It should have more than enough potency to score enough to be a threat to win it all, but they will need a lot of defensive effort from guys like PJ Washington. He's going to be extremely important in guarding the perimeter. And then you also have Derek Lively II. He was awesome last year, and I think he'll take another step forward in his career as a great young player, great scorer, great passer, and huge potential going forward. But the Mavs have been dealing already with injury problems. A lot of their players are hurt. Luka with the left calf, PJ with some hip tightness. A lot of the role players, Kleba, Brandon Williams, Dante Exum, Kessler Edwards, they're all dealing with various injuries already. Exum is supposed to be out until January, maybe February, with some kind of wrist problem. I think he had surgery. So the Mavs have some injury problems. Luckily, they are deep. Najee Marshall is going to be a powerful option. He's a power forward, but he can also be a strong playmaker. He can bring the ball down the court if needed, and some young talent. AJ Lawson's a really good young player. He's a two-way guy right now. He's on a two-way contract with the the G League. But he can also provide some minutes if they need to kind of give some time for some of these injured guys to get back to 100%. But the team is looking pretty good. They've lost their 2 preseason games so far, but I think they'll be okay. Injuries are, of course, a concern. They're a concern for every team. But I think the moves that were made make this team better. I think the Mavericks are a team built for the prime time, built for the playoffs, built for late in the year, and they'll do what they did last year. They may have some problems like last year. There may be some instability. There may be, I'm sure there'll be lots of moves, lots of rotation changes. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, this team is the team that beat the OKC Thunder this year. I think the Thunder are better this year. So it's going to be tough to get past them. But if they can get past them and get past all those other teams in the West and get back to the finals, whether it's against the Celtics or whoever it might be, I think the Mavs are in a better position this year than last to take the championship for the first time since 2011. But what do you all think? Let me know your thoughts on this very impressive Dallas Mavericks team. Again, they got a lot of veterans, they got a lot of older guys, a lot of younger guys, a lot of injury issues. It's a team that does deal with injuries. But of course, if their main dudes can stay healthy, with the addition of Klay Thompson, with the addition of some really good defensive players and some good young talent, just a good mix of everything, if they can stay healthy enough, and especially if they are fully or close to fully healthy come the playoffs, look out for the Dallas Mavericks. Let me know your thoughts down below, and we'll talk to you in the next one.